Hello, everybody. Welcome to Percussion Axiom TV. I am your host, Tom Burritt, and today we are back with just a real quick episode. Back in episode 3. If you've been watching from the beginning, you'll remember that episode featuring the New York Times article. If you haven't seen that episode, go check it out. There's a link on the front page of thomasburritt.com that will take you directly to the New York Times article on the marimba. I thought it was a fantastic thing that the article made its way to the Sunday Times, New York Times section. It wasn't maybe the best article, but there was some good quotes by some good composers and some great marimba players as well. So if you haven't checked that, check that out. But in that episode, I promised I would get back to you guys about sort of how that happened and what was the backstory in that. And I got some more information about that. And so that's what today's episode is about, because recently I got another link generated from through the same process of a similar article, I think actually much better, in the LA Times. I forget the date of it exactly, but that was also on the link on my front page at thomasburritt.com. Go check that out. But really, I just wanted to give you the backstory on that now that I've found it out. Nancy Zaltzman, who I mentioned in episode 3, has a wonderful marimba festival. Called the Zaltzman Marimba Festival. I've been involved in the past, and they just finished up the first time they've ever done it in LA, and next year it's going to be back in Appleton, Wisconsin. But she went out way out on a limb. She's already done so much for the marimba, of course, but she went out and actually hired a publicist, and Stephen, I can't remember his last name. You'll see it in the LA Times article. But anyway, he basically made most of the connections here to these major papers, and he had to have been expensive, and it was something that Nancy Zaltzman's been doing for her festival, but it's turning out to be, I think, amazing for us. And so I just wanted to spend a little time with a big shout out to Nancy and all that she's done for the marimba, and I just think it's an incredibly amazing thing, and I think I find it incredibly inspiring. And I'm really honored. The next thing I want to talk about is the ZMF 09 Festival in Appleton, where all of the new premieres for the intermediate repertoire project that she's got going on will be premiered, and I've been fortunate enough to be asked to premiere one of them. I'm not sure whose piece I'm going to be playing yet, but I'm probably going to know that this fall at some point, so I'll keep you kind of updated on that. But if you don't know anything about that project, you really need to go check out zmf.org, I believe is the address. I think I've got a link somewhere on my website for it, but if you haven't done that, you really need to go check it out. There's some amazing composers who have been commissioned to write intermediate marimba solos. I think that's an area in our repertoire that has a serious hole in it, and Nancy's been really inspired and very steadfast in creating some great music. And the list of composers is just mind-blowing, and the money that she's raised is phenomenal. And you can be a part of that for, I think, as little as $150. You can have your name involved in this project. And so I'd really, if you're watching this and you love the marimba, it's time for the younger generation, which I'm not even sure I'm a part of now, but I think I was at one point. If I'm not, what the heck? But people like Nancy who've done so much for the marimba really need our support. So big part of what today is just realizing the kind of work that Nancy's doing to shed incredible light to the public about her instrument, and then what you can do actually to help with that process. So that's today's episode. I'd love to hear from you. So today's question of the episode is simple. What kinds of things are you doing out there to upgrade the point of where the instrument is right now? Are you commissioning composers? Have you given to ZMF? I don't want to brag about what's going on, but I want to hear what you guys are doing, because it's definitely working. It's really exciting to see. So that's the question of the episode. So sorry for the short episode, but the next episode we'll get back into the exercises. But I just wanted to take time to follow up on what I said I would do in episode 3. So that's today's episode. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.